We are trying to boost our users who visit our website to go as fast as possibly can towards this booking funnel. But we're not letting them get inspired. And this is like something important. How can we appeal to their needs, to their values, to their desires? How can they project themselves when they are using our product?
Talk to me about your role at Radisson. What do you do?
I'm like a conversion rate optimization specialist. So my goal is to analyze web traffic, app traffic, identify pain points, gaps that we may have on the navigation of the website, and come up with ideas to either optimize or launch an A/B test. So it's quite interesting in the hospitality because you may think of all these examples of the retail, but when you go to hospitality, I think it's like a whole different world. You may see a lot of people trying to talk to you about, we've been able to uplift the conversion by this much on this product page for t-shirts, sweatshirts. This we're treating with a different audience. In the case of Radisson, which is like kind of a more like elevated experience that they're looking for, we really need to pay attention to these small details. Like, what's the service? Is the concierge available for everybody? What kind of treatment I'm gonna get once I get to the property? So these are all the things that you need to keep in consideration when you are trying to optimize a website, optimize the messaging, optimize the content, the personalization, even on not just on a country level, maybe by probable spend.
What's one metric that you have a hard time understanding and improving?
Yeah, retention. I think for me it would be like the retention and the life cycle of a customer, because I think this is something that it's more like industry-wide for everybody that works on digital marketing, like how are the different touch points during the life cycle. So first they might come into the web, they might see in my case, like a hotel. Oh, I love this resort in Gran Canaria. However, they just check the gallery and then they get out. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm just done with this. But then we have to remind them a couple of days later. Like, hey, you checked this hotel. Why don't you want to take a look, see all the beautiful spa we got, the amazing infinity pool that might be there. Now it's sunny there. It's going to be sunny when you try to go there in summer. Hey, take a look again. Come back with this. That kind of retention cycle, like how to actually appeal them. Because in the end, we're also trying to get that into the storytelling about how this property fits their needs, their needs of their desires as well. So this is like a big challenge for me to understand. Like, how can I cross this data with the holistic experience of the user and the different touch points throughout, for example, a cycle of a week or maybe a month. Maybe a person who has seen this product might come back in 6 months because they were just doing like a preventive check and getting an idea. Then they have to talk maybe to their partner, maybe they have to talk to a group of friends, for example, and 6 months later, they finally decided. So how do we get back their attention? How can we, for example, understand where are the different life cycle of a person when they interact, for example, with Radisson?
Mm-hmm. So we're certainly in the midst of the age of AI right now, right? We've got generative AI has been around for a few years with the LLMs. We now have agentic AI. Analytics is certainly one area where we're going to be pointing agentic AI capabilities. What's one thing that you look forward to AI helping you out with when it comes to analysis?
I think this relates pretty well with what I said before about understanding these touch points. Maybe we can identify patterns. If I had to go and manually check them all the time, they would be a big challenge. I would spend hours. My stakeholders would kill me if I had to. Just let me get like 2 weeks to get this there. No, I need it now. I need to repurpose my whole marketing strategy on that. With agentic AI, in this case, the one that it's at Quantum Metric, we can actually automate that. It would be amazing to be able to automate that. And so I can have that report about experience, life cycle of these people. This first interaction with the above the fold, and they go to the specific sections. 2 weeks later, they arrive to check the rooms. So maybe we can actually get all this information periodically reviewed, and in the end, try to adapt our strategies of appeal to them in order to generate these conversions and finally convince them and qualify them to stay with us.
In the past, maybe the industry, we've talked about democratizing data, and we've kind of see data as more of a burden, but really what people want is to have that understanding throughout the organization. Talk to me about something that you wish everybody throughout your organization understood that you understand well. What do you want everybody else to know?
These decisions, these behavioral patterns that we might try to identify, everything relates back to culture. And for example, at Radisson, we give a lot of care about localization. That means translating the website so it can be accessible to everybody. content personalization as well. We target them geographically, we target them based on a different set of conditions. But also this has to do with what I've been saying before, this kind of like customer life cycle of this potential customer life cycle. This is something that can be sometimes hard to communicate. When they ask you, yeah, we're gonna launch this massive campaign, so we want to highlight our resorts. Are they really thinking about how it's gonna be the interaction of the user during different stages? Is this page going to be something that will set a standard? These are maybe the things, for example, that are hard to communicate for us. Like, how do we embed ourselves into their personal culture? And how can we generate like this kind of symbolic reference to them so we can generate that trust, and then we'll return them to us into more bookings or more fidelity? This is something that I think a lot of teams really don't, because they think on the present time. And it's not about like strengthening that relationship. Yeah, we have a loyalty program, but it's not just about having a loyalty program that will hook you into the discounts or into the price. It's also about becoming a key part of them. And in this case, business-wise, leisure-wise, this is the point where we need to get them, like to adapt or become one with them when it comes to thinking about leisure. If I think about my summer holidays, I want to stay at the Radisson. I don't want to go anywhere else. Why? Because they have given me the trust and they've been caring for me. And I think a lot of teams from technical side, marketing side, are not really getting the whole picture when it comes to this.
So in this world of AI, we're trying to automate as much stuff as we possibly can, make things go faster, right? Try to offload as many things to some kind of agentic platform as we can. What's one thing that you think is worth taking the time to slow down, get right, get the human eyeballs on?
I think you're quite right about that. Like in the end, we want everything to speed up, right? It's all about speed, velocity. We want this like flash insights. I want to have like this economic impact based on this error that we have found out. I think sometimes that velocity is not gonna get us able to provide like a better quality, right? I think this is like kind of a debate that I've been seeing around, like what's this conflict between AI and UX, for example. I also come from a design background. Maybe not everything has to go with AI, and maybe this kind of conflict is something that we need to sort out. How are they going to behave? It's going to be a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Steve, anything else you want us to hit?
I think that's great.